Hello, Aviva fans. Welcome to Rollercoaster of the Year. Now, it's probably not the most volatile stock going. I mean, there's a lot of other volatile things out there, but Aviva is so interesting for being such a repetitive business that just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. Look at the year-to-date graph. Look at that. Nope, that way. Look at that. It's crazy how much up and down it goes for not really changing very much. So let's have a look and see what it did in the year 2022 because it's super interesting. Look, I mean, at the start of the year, we started the year at £5.50 and we are down now at round about £4.50. So that looks like about a 20% drop in the share price, but not all is as it seems, as you probably know. If you're an Aviva investor, by the way, then you'll kind of know what's gone on here, and I'll hopefully shed a little bit more light on why things have done the things that they've done. And if you're new and you haven't invested in Aviva or you just don't know anything about the company, well, Aviva sells insurance. It sells car insurance, home insurance. It runs funds, so invests for pensions, and generally sort of controls a lot of sort of cash flow as well, and it is a profitable business run by the Chief Executive Officer Amanda Blanc, or Blanc, however you want to pronounce it. And she is under some scrutiny because the company never really seems to perform that well. I mean, if you look at this sort of 5-year graph, you can see it's about level, down a bit, left and right a bit. So let's concentrate on the year to date, 2022. What happened? Well, at the start of the year, we had a little drop. In fact, quite a big drop. You can see that the share price spiked down quite a lot. Aviva released their results, their annual results for 2021, and they said that their earnings had dropped, so they'd made less money, and that caused the share price to sink. But alongside that news, Aviva also announced that they were going to return £3.75 billion to shareholders, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, I've never seen anything like that apart from when Vodafone returned a ridiculous amount, like 30% of the company in cash to shareholders. So I've not really seen anything like this in a wee while. Let me know in the comments below if you've heard anything else like this happen in the past sort of few years, because I'd be really interested to maybe do a video on that as well. But immediately after that, the share price dropped. It rose back up again because the company is still valuable. It sells insurance and it will always be sought after because it's mandatory to take out insurance. It's mandatory to invest in pensions. So there's a lot of things going for Aviva in terms of it has automatic customers. And also people wanted, investors wanted that 3.75 billion return of capital. And the way Aviva did that was they, instead of doing just a pure dividend, which can attract some tax for the shareholders, Aviva decided to do kind of like a share buyback. But I call it a dividend because it essentially works exactly the same way as a dividend. So I won't go into the specifics of that. Let's treat it as a dividend. What that meant was the share price dropped, and the share price dropped by the same amount as the dividend, and that was 24%. I mean, what a staggering amount, right? The company had 24% of its market value in cash, and it gave that back to shareholders. Wow, it was incredible. It was probably the biggest dividend I will have for many, many, many years in one go. And alongside that, in the same month, can you believe, Aviva paid their ordinary dividend. So that was quite a lot of cash going out of the bank. So the share price dropped quite a lot, but it didn't reduce the value of the company. Your shareholding was still worth the same amount. And so instantly after that, you can see the share price rose again, about 11, 12%. And then after that, the excitement was lost and the shares started to fall. Sorry, my camera has seemed to have frozen a little bit. So let's see if I can unfreeze that. Let's see. All right, there we go. Right, back in action. So the share price, people got a little bit bored because they didn't really realize, nothing else is happening. So the share price proceeded to drop. back down to about £4 a share. And at this point, there was another dividend, and the stock price was doing quite well. So the share price shot back up to around about £4.70. This was quite a nice jump. And then again, the excitement was lost. So in this whole time, Aviva's business hasn't really changed. They've not really done anything. And the share price has been an absolute roller coaster. So as long-term investors, we don't really care whether the price goes up and down and up and down. It makes no difference. But it's so interesting to see that a company that doesn't really change much, you can see these ups and downs by like 20, 30%. And then so at this point here, the share price fell again, and there was a bad period of the stock market round about sort of August, September, October. The stock market went down, the entire stock market, and that dragged Aviva down with it. And then from the last month, the share price has risen again by about 15, 16% up to about just above £4.50. And that's where we're at right now. So despite the fact that the year-to-date says that Aviva is down 19.3%, that just isn't true, because we've had dividends of around about 29% across that same period. So it's really interesting to look at this stock and see, actually, if you're an investor, you are up. I mean, this year, you're probably making about 10, 11, 12% on Aviva if you have held from the start of the year. But everybody that doesn't know actually looks at this and thinks, oh, it's down 19%. But hang on, maybe it looks like quite good value. So maybe it seems more attractive to investors who think they're getting a good deal. So maybe it's a very good time to be in Aviva. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But super, super interesting. Let me know if you think that that's interesting as well. I find the movements in share price just fantastic, because every time it drops, you can just buy a little bit more at a cheaper price, and you get a very good deal, especially if you know that the business you're buying is quite strong. So there's a little bit about Aviva and what's happened over 2022, and what roller coaster. I can't believe it. Every day I'm sort of looking and I'm like, oh, can't believe how much up and down it goes. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything, because if you're a long-term investor, you're just getting those returns coming in. So it's great. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Check two of my videos. I always go that side. It's over there. Two of my videos there. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments about Aviva, and I look forward to catching you on the next video.